Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Half Magic Tarot. In the words of Britney Spears, it's been a while. I know I shouldn't have kept you waiting, but I'm here now. So, this pick a card reading is your next boo, little Halloween theme. It's just about your next romantic partner. I have 4 piles here to choose from, and I suggest that you select your pile based on the pile marker that sparks a memory in you. So, for example, I would choose pile 1, the high priest pile, because the woman on this card has like a triple goddess headband on. And just like a week or two ago, I had my friend who lives in another country came and stayed with me, and I took her to kind of the city market, and I bought a triple goddess ring there. So that is why I would choose that. So feel free to pause your video now to select your pile, and let's get started. If you selected pile 1, high priestess, high priest, welcome to your reading. Let's figure out who your next boo is. Who is your next romantic partner? So we're starting off your spread here with this 5 of Cups. And immediately what I'm getting from this pile is that I feel like this says a lot more about maybe you and the way that you're approaching your relationship with your next person than it really says about them. Because the 5 of Cups is this card of feeling maybe pessimistic, of grief, of loss. And it's right next to this Queen of Pentacles card that I think really represents you as the viewer of this pile. And so to me, this says that this is in your romantic past, is this feeling of grief, of loss. So I think for a lot of you, you have had, pretty negative experiences when it comes to dating or romance or love. And I think because of that, you're very guarded with your heart. I think it's very easy for you to want to find the flaw in someone before, it shows up, so that way you can protect yourself. Like, it's very much giving, like, you will self-sabotage if you suspect anything. You're looking for a reason to walk away so you can protect yourself from getting too invested in further hurt. And I think the 5 of Cups is such an apt card for that, because in a traditional Rider-Waite-Smith tarot deck, this card is depicted by someone who's looking at 3 spilt cups on the ground, and they're sad about it, they're crying over it. What they don't know is that there's 2 cups waiting behind them. And the 2 of Cups in tarot is a very beautiful relationship card. So I always kind of see that as you're kind of crying over this stuff you lost, but if you pick yourself up and turn around, there's still all of this love, all of this romance that's waiting for you. And so I think that's kind of where you are, where maybe you have some awareness that your patterns of wanting to protect yourself, these coping mechanisms that you made because you've been hurt are protecting you on some level, but I think you also know that they are also limiting you, because if you're constantly having this wall up around your heart, it is really difficult for someone else to be able to penetrate that. And so I think for a lot of people in this pile, it kind of feels like you are someone who is very hesitant, very self-protective when it comes to dating. And so maybe you haven't dated anyone in a while. And I think that kind of adds to your anxiety about when you do meet this person who is your next boo. So as I said, you're coming through as this Queen of Pentacles. And so I think you are someone who takes your stability very seriously. You are someone who prioritizes like self-care. You're someone who your comfort and your stability and your peace of mind is very important to you. And you are not going to let anyone distract you from your goals or jeopardize that. And I think maybe that's something you've experienced in the past. Maybe you dated people who are very unambitious and tried to like pull you down, or people who were threatened by your success, your drive. And I think maybe because of that, you're like, no, I'm going to make sure that I still make time for myself and my goals and what I want, and regularly check in on myself and make sure that I'm still good. Now, your next partner here, at the very end of the spread, we have the Crone of Pentacles, which in this deck is the King of Pentacles. Now, the King and Queen of Pentacles, this is a perfect match. This is someone that really understands you. So I think this is someone who is also very ambitious and driven. They're very patient, which I think is going to come in very handy here because you do obviously have some trust issues. You have a little bit of an inability to open up, but this person is very willing to wait for you and kind of help you work through those insecurities or those fears. This person's very generous with their time and their energy, and they could be very like acts of service. Like the things that they do to show that they like you is like, oh, you had a bad day at work, I'm gonna go pick up some Indian food, some Indian takeout and bring it home. Or you said that something's wrong with your car, I'm gonna take it to the mechanic for you and get it checked out. This is someone who's very practical and they want to find ways to make your life easier. So it's really interesting because I think, as I said, the people in your life in the past romantically kind of made your life worse or harder or more difficult because maybe you had to take care of them, or maybe they didn't give you the time or the space to do the necessary things that you need to do. But this person's definitely very responsible. I mean, the pile marker that you selected literally says responsibility. And so I think that is a really big thing here. Both of you are very responsible people. I think this person could be very established in their career, and I feel like they have younger people that look up to them in particular. Like maybe they have younger siblings, or maybe they volunteer with like at-risk kids or youth, and just generally I think people really come to them for like advice or see them as kind of a place of knowledge. Maybe at work people really rely on them to help them get things done. Now, this person could be a Taurus or have a prominent Taurus placement in their natal chart. So that could be their sun, moon, rising, Venus. To a lesser extent here, I'm also getting Capricorn, but this is very heavy earth sign energy. So Taurus, definitely, Capricorn, Virgo. Now, as I said, we have the Queen of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles. Perfect couple, perfect match here. However, you notice there's two cards in between you. We have the Eight of Swords and the Seven of Swords. And the Eight of Swords is this card about your kind of own mental limitations. And in the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith tarot deck, the Eight of Swords is depicted by this person who is standing with a blindfold on, and they have ropes around them, and they're kind of in the middle of this circle of swords. And the person in the card feels like they're trapped. They feel like there's no way out. They can't escape. This is it for them. But the reality is their ropes aren't tied very tightly. They could just move their arms and the ropes come off, take off their blindfold, and step out of the circle. They're not actually trapped, but they feel that way. And so I think this is kind of describing that mental thing that you have going on in this relationship, and this is kind of a barrier between you and your next partner being together, because it is between you two in these cards. It's between the Queen of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles. So this is your own mental limitations of you not really wanting to trust this person. I think you are just suspicious automatically of what this person's intentions are, and that's kind of doubled down by the Seven of Swords next to in the spread. The Seven of Swords can be a card about betrayal or someone being sneaky. And I don't think that this person is actually like displaying those behaviors. I think because you, as the Queen of Pentacles, have this Five of Cups card behind you, because you have this grief in relationships in your past, you are really carrying that around and trying to be very protective of your heart. And in that way, you are very suspicious of what people's intentions are, or what they're going to do to you, or what they want from you. And so with the Eight of Swords next to the Seven of Swords, it's kind of a reiteration that this is mostly your own mental thing. It's not that this person is actually sneaking around or going to betray you. It's that you have this fear that it's going to happen. And so you've kind of like locked yourself in a cage of anticipation of, oh, this is going to happen. But I want to reiterate that this person's a King of Pentacles. This person's very reliable. They're patient. They're kind. They're generous with their time. They're very responsible. And so I think that It does seem to me like maybe this relationship takes a while to take off because you are very hesitant, but I think this person does eventually manage to win your heart over because, as I said, they are your next boo, they're your next romantic partner, which is very cute. So for the pile marker that you selected, this says High Priestess, High Priest, responsibility. And so the high priestess or high priest is like a spiritual leader. So again, there's these leadership qualities coming from this person. Definitely, I think people look up to them. They come to them for advice. This person could be spiritual in some kind of way, which is maybe one of the reasons why you bond with them. But mostly I'm getting that this person, again, is very responsible. This card in particular is about how you can't have power without responsibility. Some people want to be powerful just so they can be known or have control, and I think maybe that's one of your fears. But this person takes the power and the trust that people put into them very seriously. This person will be very protective with your heart and your time in this relationship. And actually, when I was first pulling cards for this and I got this card, I heard optical illusion, and the way that I interpreted that was, I think the way that you are perceiving this person or the kind of ideas that you are projecting onto them because of your past or your insecurities are not actually how they are. So maybe you think, oh, this person, they're very powerful, they're like a dominant person, and you might read that as domineering or someone who abuses their power, and that's not the case. This person is, I think, very benevolent. They're approachable, they're kind, and they're very patient. And I think this person really prides themselves in having people trust them and rely on them and see them as someone that they can come to for advice or for assistance. Now, your Romance Angels card here says flirt. Extend your lighthearted energy to others. And so I really think this is advice for when it comes to this connection is that, just allow yourself to have fun. Flirting is all about fun. It's about that lighthearted energy. Don't allow yourself to get too much into your head about your past or what you think this person might do because, first of all, I don't think that they are out to hurt you. But second of all, you can't control anyone else's actions. You can only control your reaction. And so as long as this person is being kind to you and they are being sincere, just allow yourself to enjoy it. Enjoy it while it lasts. Enjoy the fun. Because I think that you and this person, as I said, are really a perfect match. Like, I think you will get along so well with this person. I think you really understand each other. You both seem to be like very sensual people or people who really prioritize your comfort. And so I think this is someone that you can really feel comfortable letting your guard down around once you get past those initial insecurities. So for your Island Time Wellness Love Oracle cards, we got Hammer, which says sabotage, rebuilding, interrogation, repetitive, persistent, and working on it, which to me really goes with that 8 of Swords and that 7 of Swords in between you, the Queen of Pentacles, and your next boo, the King of Pentacles, the Crown of Pentacles here, because I think part of you is kind of trying to sabotage this connection because you think it'll make you feel safer. But I don't think you need to worry about it because there's also this part about rebuilding, persistence, working on it. So even though, there is going to be times where you feel insecure and maybe you do have these little moments where you're kind of sabotaging the connection with this person or you're pulling back or you're very afraid, I think this person is able to ease your fears very well because they are very perceptive of what your needs are and they want to be able to provide that for you. Like I said, this is a very acts of service person, so I think they can kind of feel like what it is you need to feel safe and secure in this connection with them. And so when you pull away, when you get scared, I think this person will be there to help guide you through it. And they will definitely just be able to be there for you. And I think this is going to be a really cute relationship. So congratulations, my pile ones. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I don't know how often I'm going to do these. I will try to do them more regularly now that I'm back from my break, kind of. But we'll see. So thank you again. Take care. If you selected pile 2, familiar, welcome to your reading. Let's figure out who your next boo is. Who is your next romantic partner? We're starting off your spread here with this Crone of Cups, which is equivalent to the King of Cups. And so immediately what I'm getting is that your next romantic partner could be a Scorpio or have a prominent Scorpio placement in their natal chart. So their sun sign, moon sign, rising sign, or Venus sign. But they might just be embodying kind of this King of Cups energy or have like another water sign in their chart. So could be Scorpio, could also be Cancer or Pisces. But generally, they are this King of Cups energy, which is someone who is very patient, emotionally intelligent, protective, kind, calm, creative, can be someone who is moved emotionally by like art and music. So maybe that's one of the signs, is that you can tell this person really cares about music. This is definitely someone who can be very romantic. They're the type of person to, they make you a playlist. They read you a love poem that reminded them of you. They tell you about their favorite book because they want you to know about it. They buy you something special, or they make you something special that has like sentimental value for you. Like I just heard like a sailor's valentine. So if you don't know what that is, I think in like the 1800s maybe, sailors used to collect seashells from the ocean, and they would basically glue them onto like a jewelry box in the shape of hearts and stuff to give to their lovers when they got back home. So, there's something about that. Obviously, this person has a very watery energy, but I think that they would kind of go out of their way to make you something that feels special and like catered to you. Like this person really listens to your interest and wants to make sure that they're giving you the best, or being very thoughtful, being very mindful about how they relate to you and how they express their love to you. And I'm also getting, with the imagery on this card, there's this mirror that is reflecting this person's flower face. And so it's like the song "I'll Be Your Mirror" by the Velvet Underground. If you don't feel like you're your best, or you don't see the beauty in yourself, this person will be able to show you that they see it in you. And not just physically, I think this person really, there's such a strong energy of this pile of sticking with you through thick and thin and being very supportive. And so I think this person is always like, you're amazing, you're so much stronger, you're so much more resilient than you think you are. This person definitely reminds you of all the great traits you have, and they kind of put you on a pedestal, but not in a way that's like dehumanizing. It's just very much this person sees the best in you, and they want you to see that in yourself as well. The next card in your spread is this Maiden of Wands, which is equivalent to the Page of Wands. And pages I always see as kind of like the beginning, the spark. And wands are all about passion and energy. And so I do think that this is a new person for most of you. I think this is someone that you have not met yet or not dated yet. This is someone that you come into contact with, and there's this kind of immediate spark or immediate attraction to them. But I think it's something that gradually builds up. So there is immediate attraction and immediate interest, but it's not like you meet them and then the next day you're in love. It builds up, because I think this person, because they are so like level-headed and emotionally intelligent, they don't really like to rush into things. And so I think they really take their time getting to know you and spending time with you. But you definitely do get there, because the next card in the spread is the World. And if you look at the imagery on this card, there's a snake. And on the Maiden of Wands, the Page of Wands, there's a snake too. But the snake on the Maiden of Wands, it's like you can only see part of it. In the World, you can see the whole thing. So to me, these cards are really speaking to each other. It's like this is the Page of Wands, the Maiden of Wands is the spark, and then the World is everything coming together. You can see the big picture with this person. You can see the full picture, and it's in the middle of this laurel, which is a sign of victory. The World is all about reaching milestones, kind of getting to the proverbial finish line with someone. And so for a lot of you, I do think that this is your person, period. Like the person that you could spend the rest of your life with, because the world I often see in love readings is like an engagement, a marriage, having children, moving in together, deciding to meet each other's family, deciding to really commit to each other. It's a step up in the level of commitment. And especially following this Maiden of Wands, it's like, I think this person realizes pretty soon, and you realize about this person pretty soon, that you definitely want to have that level of commitment with this person. You want to be able to go through the phases of life with this person. And that is also reflected in the next card here, this 10 of Cups, which is a beautiful card about both families and just lasting happiness. So if you are someone who is interested in children or having kids, or if you already have kids, I think you can integrate this person into your family very well. You could have children with them. You could introduce them to your family that you're already close to and your family loves them. Or if you have children, I think this person would be a great step parent to your children. And the 10 of Cups is also a card about just being happy together and being able to really live in the moment and appreciate the moments that you have together. And so I think that you and this person just get along so well. Like I said, there's such a strong energy of this pile of just being able to stick by each other through thick and thin and be so supportive of each other. You're like pillars for each other. And I think that's also coming through in the last card here, this High Priestess, which actually has 2 pillars. So I think both of you are like pillars for each other. It's like, if you think of a building that has pillars, if you take down one, it might still be able to stand, but it's not going to be as sturdy. There's going to be weak spots in the foundation. And so I think you're definitely stronger together, but you're not codependent. You're not, you don't need this person. I think that's a good place to be in a relationship if that concerns you. You shouldn't need this person, but this person adds stability. This person adds joy to your life. And also with the High Priestess here, I think that for a lot of you, there's almost this that corny couple saying oh, we could finish each other's sentences. That's what this is, because the High Priestess is such a kind of intuitive understanding of each other. I think you two really just understand each other so well. You don't even have to have a conversation to know how this person is feeling. I think you can feel it intuitively, and they can feel the same with you, which is why I think they're so present with your needs. They can kind of anticipate what you need, and that's why they're so supportive of you emotionally, and that's why they're trying to be your mirror, and they can feel when you're feeling insecure or beaten down, and they can tell you, hey, this is how I see you, this is what I know you're capable of, this is how much I like you or love you, and I'm always going to be here for you as your other pillar to help you when you're feeling weak. I'm going to help you support yourself, support all of these other responsibilities you have, your family, your job, whatever. This is just a very, very supportive, loving partner that you are calling in. I'm also getting from this High Priestess card that the person that is coming in for you could have the initials B or J in their name. And I'm also getting, to a lesser extent, for some other zodiac signs beside that, Scorpio is Cancer and Capricorn. But I would say in order of likelihood, definitely Scorpio, then Cancer, then Capricorn. So that could be a prominent placement for them or for you in your natal chart, your Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. But I think Scorpio and Cancer, obviously, those are both water signs. So there's kind of that emotional understanding between them. I'm kind of picking that up as maybe something that is going on. And I also, Capricorn is the father of the zodiac, and Cancer is the mother of the zodiac. So again, there's this kind of reiteration of you would make a great family partnership. So definitely if you already have kids, I think this person would be a great parent figure. Or if they already have kids, I think you would be a great parent figure to their children. So your pile marker is familiar or guardian. So what I'm getting from this, one of the signs that it might be a person, they may have a pet, like a cat, or they may really enjoy pets or work with pets in some way. This could be like a veterinarian. And I'm also getting from the toad on here that you kind of feel like you've had to kiss a lot of frogs to get to this person. So you might be a little bit disenchanted by dating because you're just like, I haven't found my person. I haven't found the person that's embodying all of these qualities that I want. I'm also getting, because it says guardian on this card, that this person could be a guardian in some way. So they could work with children, like be a teacher, be a coach, be a pediatric doctor, something like that. Or they could already have children of their own. And I think, obviously there is a lot of stuff about family in here. So I think that's definitely a possibility. Because I'm also picking up that for a lot of people in this pile, you could be like a little bit older. So you might already have, established a family in that regard. And so maybe this person is on that same level. Maybe there's someone who, was previously married and had children and is now divorced and looking for love again, and they want to meet someone who will be, very kind to their children. That's just a message for some of you. It doesn't have to apply to everyone here. But overall, the energy of this familiar guardian card is, if you think about a witch's familiar, it's, this spirit that guides you and assists you and keeps you out of harm's way. And that is really the energy of this person. Just making sure that you have all of the things that you need, making sure that you feel loved and supported. And for your romance angels card, we got new love, which is a new person has stirred your romantic feelings, which again kind of reiterates that I do think this is someone that you have not met yet or have not had any kind of romantic contact with yet, because with this Maiden of Wands, it does feel like a new spark. It feels like someone you meet and you kind of feel the sparks flying immediately. For your Island Time Wellness Love Oracle card, we got separation, which says sadness, missing you, thinking about you, yearning, unsure future. So I'm not getting that this is someone you have been previously separated from. Again, I do think that this is a new person coming into your life. I'm getting more that for a lot of you, going back to that having kissed a lot of frogs to get to where you're, I think you're yearning for a person who understands you. I think a lot of you have experienced like romantic loneliness, and you're like, will I ever find someone who is there for me, who meets my standards, who I feel like crazy about? I just heard the lyric from Call Me Maybe by Carly Rae Jepsen, where she says, before you came into my life, I missed you so bad. And I think that's kind of it, right? You don't know this person, but you still miss them. You miss the space that you want them to fill. There's room for them in your life, and you don't know what's going to fill it yet, but this person seems to be coming. So congratulations to you, my pile twos. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I put out a new video sometimes. Just got back from break. I don't know how often I will do these, just whenever I can, I guess. But thank you for watching. Take care. If you selected pile 3, Chalice, welcome to your reading. Let's figure out who your next boo is. Who is your next romantic partner? Okay, my pile 3s. If you have been very bored with your love life, as in there's not a whole lot going on, I think this is probably the pile for you. We're starting off your spread here with Temperance, and I think Temperance can be such a frustrating card in any reading because it's all about, the middle ground, the middle path, so to speak. But I think a lot of times it can come up as like there's just not a whole lot going on. There's nothing exciting. There's nothing negative, but there's nothing exciting going on. And so I feel like this is almost the energy that you've been in, where maybe you've been single for quite some time, and it's like, yeah, you don't have anyone stressing you out or like treating you poorly, but also no one's making your heart sing. No one's exciting you. And so, I think you're just a little bored. You're waiting for something to happen. For a lot of you, you could be Sagittariuses or have a prominent Sagittarius placement in your natal chart, so sun, moon, rising, or Venus sign. But the good news is that right next to this, we have the Hierophant or the Hierophant. And the Hierophant is someone who is like very traditional, who is very reliable. And so I think this is representing the person that is coming in for you. This is someone new who doesn't disrupt your peace, because maybe in the past, maybe that's why you've been single for so long, is that you had stuff going on, but it negatively impacted you. Now you're like, well, can I have at least someone that makes me happy? And so I think this person coming in, the Hierophant, is very reliable, very dependable. The Hierophant is like the card of tradition. This is something that will always be there, is always for you. You can rely on it. You don't have to second guess what this person's feelings for you are. Like, it's laid out, like you understand what's going on. This relationship that's coming in for you is very legible. And I think that's going to be very exciting for you, because I don't think you're used to that, to having someone be like, actually, I like you. Here's how I feel. Here's what I want. I want us to be like in a committed relationship. I think this person is going to very much lay it all out there for you. So some other details about this person: they could be a Taurus, and to a lesser extent here I'm also getting Aquarius, but mostly Taurus or Aquarius placement. That could be their sun sign, moon sign, rising sign, Venus sign, or they're just kind of embodying this Hierophant Taurian energy, which is someone who really prioritizes comfort. They could be a homebody. I'm definitely getting that this person is very introverted. They definitely could be a leader. They are someone who might be interested in like religion or spirituality. So you could meet them like if you go to the church or the synagogue or the mosque, you could meet them there. If you're just like a spiritual person, like I'm assuming a lot of people who watch YouTube tarot readings are, you could meet them like at a metaphysical store or at a class or at the library or wherever it is that you might go that's related to that. But this person definitely is interested in like expanding their knowledge about the universe. I think they are not, what's the word I'm looking for? They're not arrogant. They don't believe that everything they think is the correct thing. I think they're very easily humbled by the universe, and I think that's a good quality to have, because this is someone who can admit when they're wrong, and someone who is not going to like argue with you forever about how your opinion can't possibly be correct. I think they're definitely open to alternative points of view. However, when they believe something, I think it's because they've thought it through so thoroughly that they like really believe that their opinions about things are not easily shakeable. So like, for example, if they have one particular political view, they didn't just decide that because like that's how their parents voted or their parents told them that. Like, they've really studied it and they came to that conclusion, and it's based on their own like moral values. And if they believe in that, you're not going to shake them by like, or other people are not going to shake them by being like, well, I believe this. They already have like a counter argument in their head for that. So this person is probably very smart, or at least like very educated. They could find education to be very important. So could be someone who has multiple like degrees, someone who is a professor or a teacher, someone who is still in school. If you're like younger, probably definitely this person values education. They have an open mind when it comes to learning things and viewing the world. They could be interested in spirituality or religion. They're very straightforward with what they believe and what they want and what they think, and they're very reliable. If you told this person, hey, can you take me to the airport? They would definitely do it. And they would show up without you having to like remind them the night before or the morning of. This person would have already had it in their calendar and they're ready to go. So I think you'll really like this person. But don't let their dependability fool you into thinking that they're boring. Because again, I don't think that you want someone boring. It feels like you've experienced a lot of boredom in your love life. So we've got this Five of Wands in reverse in the middle, and Five of Wands upright is the card about petty arguments, basically. It's about competition. And so in reverse, it really feels to me like this person is just not fazed by people trying to like argue with them. They're so like level-headed, like they really don't believe in indulging in other people's like negative energy. Like if someone were to leave a mean comment on their social media, they would just delete it and like move on with their day. They wouldn't sit there and argue back and forth because they're like, what's the point? I'm not going to give this person attention. And they're also just not really fazed by competition. This kind of reminds me of, as I'm recording this, Liam Payne, the former One Direction member, just died. And so I've been seeing like random, One Direction stuff. And I saw one of the videos of them performing on the X Factor. And Niall Horan, you can tell, is just so happy to be there, happy to be singing. Like he's having the time of his life. And the rest of them are very nervous. And it just struck me, I always think on like reality TV shows, any kind, not just X Factor, the people that tend to be the most like engaging or the most loved or the most fun to watch are the ones who are kind of putting aside their worries or like putting aside their worries about the competition and instead are just deciding to have fun while they can. And I think that is kind of the mode that your person operates in, where they're like, I want to be the best, but I feel like my best is going to be when I'm having fun or when I'm enjoying what I'm doing and not worried about how other people are perceiving it or if other people are doing better. So this person really tries to avoid comparison. They try to avoid arguments with other people. Like definitely, I think if you're someone who has a hotter temper in this relationship and you try to like pick a fight, they would just be like, okay, why are you lashing out at me right now? Let's get to the bottom of this emotion. What are you feeling? And this is not the type of person who would like yell at you or yell back at you, which is very nice. Because again, I think you need someone who is kind of clear and level-headed. But again, like I said, don't let that make you think that this person is just boring or like they don't have any passion or fire within them, because next to that we have the Two of Pentacles, and the Two of Pentacles is a card about balance. And so when it comes between two cards in the spread, I often see it as like this balance between these two sides of them. So on one side we have that Five of Wands in reverse, that kind of level-headedness, that refusal to give in to competition or competitiveness. And then on the other side we have the Void, which is equivalent to the Fool, which is the very first card in a tarot deck, and it's all about the beginning of journeys. So the Fool is someone who is not afraid to go after what they want. They are willing to take risk, they're willing to take chances, they're willing to go on new journeys. Often when I see this card, I sometimes see it as representing people who like kind of present themselves in the world kind of strangely. Like this person could be very fashionable and wear kind of like crazy patterns, or they have something very unique about their appearance, but they are really not afraid to take chances. They might really like to travel. Like if they're like, oh, I've decided that I really want to learn how to code, they'd sign themselves up for like a coding class. Or if they were like, I've decided I want to run a marathon, they would start training for a marathon immediately. Or if they're like, I want to volunteer at a soup kitchen, they would just sign up and go do it. They really follow their impulses and they allow it to work out or not to work out. They're not really afraid of things not working out for them. They feel like, I'm going to try it, and if I don't like it, I don't have to stick to it. But this person definitely, as I said, is very open-minded. They want to try new things. They want to leap into new things. They want to live a very full life where they can be like, everything that I ever thought about doing, I tried it, and even if I hated it, at least I can say that I made the room for that. So definitely don't think that this person is without ambition or passion. They are just very level-headed, and they know when to cut their losses, or they know what's not worth their energy, but they're definitely someone who does have a lot of passion or a lot of fire lying beneath them. Now, for your Witch's Wisdom card, your pile marker, we got Chalice, which says fulfillment, and the chalice is equivalent to a cup, right? So this card reminds me of the Ace of Cups, which is like a new romantic beginning. So for most of you, I do think this is a new person. I think this is someone new coming into your life. This card also kind of talks about being able to find your own happiness within yourself, which I think really goes with that Fool card. And with that Five of Wands in reverse, I think this person knows how to live a full life on their own. This is someone who I think really inspires you to kind of carpe diem, seize the day. Like, this person definitely is like, I am happy with who I am by myself, and I want to be happy with you. This person isn't looking to like drain you or limit you or put you in a box. They want you to continue to grow in the relationship because they intend to grow in the relationship. So for your Romance Angels card, we got Release Your Ex, which says the time has come to clear your energy. So for some of you, this is very literal. Before this person comes into your life, you need to let go of your ex. Now, if you're thinking, I forgot about that POS forever ago, then I think it has more to do with the message on the bottom of the card. It's time to clear your energy. If you've been stuck in this kind of temperance of boredom energy, this person coming in for you, your next boo, is like a breath of fresh air. They're kind of cleansing that boredom away. They're giving you some excitement in your life. So finally, that energy of stagnancy is being cleared. And for your Island Time Wellness Love Oracle cards, we got Soulmates, which says soul connection, partnership, agreement, and soul contract. So this person could be your soulmate, could be your be-all, end-all. Definitely this person is reliable enough to be there for you, and the Hierophant does show up sometimes as a marriage card. So this could even be someone that you marry if that's something that you're interested in. But definitely there's a soul connection here. There's like it says, a soul contract. I think this person really comes into your life to bring you excitement and encourage you to follow your impulses and learn new things and try new things and live your life to the fullest. And they want to be by your side while you do that. So that's a really cute, beautiful relationship. So congratulations to you, my Pile 3s. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I just came back from break. I don't know how often I will put out videos, but whenever I can. So just keep that in mind and take care. Thank you. If you selected Pile 4, Watchtower of the South, welcome to your reading. Let's figure out who your next boo is. Who is your next romantic partner? So we're starting off your spread here with this card, Balance, which is equivalent to Justice. And very strongly off the bat here, there is a Libra energy. So I think your next partner could be a Libra or have a prominent Libra placement in their natal chart. So their sun sign, their moon sign, their rising sign, their Venus sign. But generally, they kind of embody this Libran energy, which is Libra's a Venusian sign, so they can be very sensual, very physically attractive, very like symmetrical in the face, kind of have this kind of classic beauty about them. Think of like an old Hollywood star, like if you're interested in men, someone like Paul Newman, Gregory Peck, or if you're interested in women, people like Audrey Hepburn or Jane Mansfield. I don't know. There's there's plenty of examples of kind of classic movie stars. There's just a classicism about this person's appearance that you will find very cute. Like they don't have iPhone face. Have you ever heard that? Like you see an actor in like a period piece, like a movie that's supposed to be set in the 1800s, and you're like, they don't look like they belong there because they have like veneers and fillers. They have an iPhone face. This is a face that's seen an iPhone before. Whereas there's other people that do kind of have that more like, yeah, I could picture this person in the 1800s. Like, I think Timothy Chalamet, he's got a non-iPhone face. Another thing with the Libran energy is that these people tend to be very good with their words, and they tend to get along with pretty much everyone. They're the kind of people that if you sent them to a party where they don't know anyone, they would leave the room with like 5 friends and somebody's number. They can be very flirtatious without actually meaning to be. I think they just have kind of like a certain natural charisma or charm that people are drawn to. And so maybe that's what first draws you into this person, is that they are so kind of approachable and friendly, and they really can find a way to like bond with anyone. They will find something that they have in common with you that you two can discuss together. And again, with this card being Justice, in this particular deck, this Justice card is represented by Persephone. So if you're familiar with Greek mythology at all, Persephone is a goddess who rules in the underworld where, there's death and afterlife. She rules in the underworld half of the year, and then the other half, she comes up for springtime, which is all about renewal. So there's this definite duality to this person where I think they have been through something dark. They have lived in darkness. They have experienced something that was really difficult or transformative. They have lost something or someone. But because of that, I think they've really turned it into optimism. Like, I think this person is just so much better able to appreciate the things that they currently have because of that. And I think that's an attitude that really rubs off on the people around them. I think a good example of like maybe a person like this is there's this author, Sarah and I'm probably pronouncing this last name wrong, but Brettrich, who wrote this book called Romancing the Ordinary, and it's really interesting. She was sitting in a restaurant, like eating lunch, and one of the ceiling titles fell and bonked her on the head, and it messed with the part of her brain that controls the senses. So she was like basically unable to taste any food. She couldn't listen to music. She could barely have conversations with people. She couldn't wear her favorite sweater. She couldn't do all of these like really fun things that meant a lot to her, or that she kind of took for granted in her everyday life before. And then slowly her senses started to come back, and it just made her so much more appreciative for like the smell of pasta sauce simmering, or being able to have bright colors like in her room, because it was all this stuff that had been stripped from her kind of unexpectedly. And so I think that's kind of the vibe of your next partner, is there's so much appreciation and gratitude for the good in life because they've experienced the bad. And I think that's also coming through in the next pile, or the next card in your pile here, which is lust, which is equivalent to strength. So first of all, lust, I think you and this person definitely have very strong physical chemistry, very strong sexual compatibility, because it's also coming through in the pile marker that you selected, actually, the Watchtower at the South, Summer, because this card is kind of about passion and energy and attraction and sparks flying and things like that. So definitely I think those two go together. I think you and this person are wildly attracted to each other, and you probably can't keep your hands off of each other. But aside from the physical aspect, because this card does represent strength, I think that this is kind of a confirmation of that message of the first card, that this person has a lot of internal strength. I think because they've had to do so much work on themselves, because they've been through so many hardships, or they've been through a particular hardship, they really have learned how to like embrace change or negative experiences and kind of flip it to be optimistic. They always think, that I've never not gotten through anything before, or the only way out is through, or this is just an important learning period in my life. This is something that I will learn from and grow from, and it hurts right now, and it might still hurt later, but it will hurt less. I think this person just has a lot of perspective, and I think they've done a lot of self-work to be able to get to that place where they accept that sometimes there's bad things that happen to you and you don't deserve them, but they just happen, and you have to use them as a learning experience or a springboard to catapult you into like a new phase of life or a better phase of life. And with the Eight of Cups here in the middle of your spread, I think that this is not something that the person just naturally came to. Like I said, I think that there was a lot of darkness or troubles in their life, but I think in the past, they might have had some negative coping mechanisms. So what do I mean by that? Maybe, they had a rough childhood, they got bullied a lot, they had abusive parents, whatever it is. This person could have, for example, become very introverted and been like, oh, I don't need to be friends with anyone. I don't need to rely on anyone. I'll just rely on myself. And at first, that was very helpful, because if you're only relying on yourself, if you're not putting your trust in other people, then you're not allowing yourself to be hurt by other people, right? But as you get older, if you continuously only rely on yourself, you can become exhausted. You can become isolated. And so I always see the Eight of Cups kind of as a card of maybe these coping mechanisms helped you in the past, but it's time to let them go, because they're going to hold you back from like an even better future. And so I think that is kind of an emotional transition that this person had that coincides with that lust or strength card, where they had to kind of put aside some of their maybe negative habits that they developed because of these tribulations that they went through. And the second message that I'm actually getting from this card is that you are kind of in a similar boat. So I think that you are also someone who has maybe develop certain coping mechanisms, certain protective mechanisms for yourself. So, for example, maybe you never really like talk about your feelings. If you're mad, you just don't say anything. You let it simmer because you don't want to start an argument. And that helped you in the past when you were, maybe a child and you weren't allowed to have an opinion. If you said something, it just made things worse for you. But now that you're an adult, it's just breeding like resentment within you if you have an issue or your feelings are hurt and you're not feeling seen or heard, and then you feel like, oh, no one understands me. Again, that's just an example. It doesn't have to be the very specific thing, although it might be. But I think that for a lot of you, you're still kind of in this energy where maybe you're aware that you have this pattern, but it's something that you're still working through. And I really think that this next romantic partnership is going to really assist you in growing out of that, because we have next the Maiden of Swords or the Page of Swords, and then the Queen of Swords. So in the court cards for the tarot, which is like the people, the lowest is Page, the highest is King. So you're going from Page to Queen. So you skipped overnight. You went Page to Queen. And this to me represents a lot of growth. This is you being able to grow within the relationship. And so I think you start off in this Page of Swords energy where I think you crave connection. You crave to be able to really express yourself in a romantic situation, but also you're quick to cut people off or cut people out or deny your own needs because you don't feel like you have enough ground to stand on. Whereas the Queen of Swords is someone who knows that they can express exactly what they need, exactly what they want well and kindly and get their point across. And, it's not disrespectful to have needs. It's disrespectful to yourself to pretend that you don't have the needs. And so I think this is kind of the mental shift that you go through within this relationship thanks to your next romantic partner who already has done a lot of this work and kind of has this perspective of, they have the Persephone thing going on where, yeah, I've been through the darkness, I've seen death, I've seen change, but I also know how beautiful the world can be. I also know that when one door closes, another opens, and I think they're really allowing you to let down your guard and kind of live in the moment more and kind of accept and trust them at face value instead of getting too in your head about, oh, am I allowed to like share my emotions? If I say this, is this person still going to like me? They are going to encourage you to speak your mind. They like you because you are you and not because you are fulfilling like a specific need or a box for them. Not because you're a stereotype or you're like a two-dimensional person that is checking a box for them. So I think this person really allows you to grow, and I think they're going to be happy to see it. I think you both are going to be matching each other's energy, definitely. This is definitely a very transformative relationship for you. Now, with your pile marker being the Watchtower of the South, this is summer. As I said before, this really represents passion, fire, energy, magnetic attraction, sparks flying. So this is a very exciting connection. I think you two have a lot of fun together, and there is a lot of physical attraction here. So for your Romance Angels card, we got pay attention to the red flags. This says the signs are cautioning you. So I don't want you to be scared because, again, I don't really think that this is a relationship that is giving me red flags. I think this person assists you in growing a lot because they've done a lot of growth. I think this is more a message for you, which is don't allow your own red flags to get in the way of this relationship. Don't allow the things that helped you in the past keep you from continuing to grow. And I think that's something that you learn throughout this relationship. Now, for your Island Time Wellness Love Oracle card, we got I like you. This says someone likes you, romance is blooming, fun flirting, and want to date. So definitely, I think that this is probably something that the person will tell you. I think maybe after you first meet a few times, this person will say, hey, I really like you. I think this person's very kind of upfront about what they want. You have fun with them. As I said, they do have that Libran kind of flirtatious charm energy, and a Libra is an air sign, so they can be very direct with their communication. I think this person will definitely let you know, I like you, I want to flirt with you, I want to go on a date with you, and I think you will not be kind of left second guessing where you stand with this person, which is also one of the reasons why I think this person really encourages you to open up and just say exactly what you're feeling instead of bottling it up or feeling like you have to hide it or pretend that you don't feel a specific way in order to be accepted within the relationship or in any relationship in general. And so overall, I think this is a really fun, like sexy, sensual, flirtatious, but also a relationship that gives you a lot of internal mental growth. So that's really cute. So congratulations, my pile fours. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I just came back from break, so I don't know how often I will be putting out these videos, but I will try to do them semi-regularly. Thank you for watching again, and take care.